Thank you for coming, and be thinking of anything that's working for you. Would love to share. I have a desire to know what works for you, because the more we share those little stories, then the more we can help other people with what they have going on. I put out the word that I was doing a sleep study to a lot of people who are not enrolled already. And most of you are enrolled. If you're not, talk to the person that invited you to this class. But I was able to get 10 people that wanted to do a sleep study with the new sleep system. So yesterday we had a lot of rain. I was out in the rain delivering packets, getting that all done. And the new sleep system is the upgraded Serenity, the regular Serenity oil in the diffuser, and a Serenity stick that is kind of like our deep blue stick, but it has in it valerian oil, which is also very muscle relaxing and calming. So the new sleep system is using this, the Serenity and this on the bottoms of the feet, or anywhere else you might want relief, the Serenity and the diffuser, and the new upgraded Serenity soft gels. And I just want to say I have a true testament of it, because I tried it when I was not sleeping 2 weeks ago, having a lot of stress in my life, and it put me out. I'm just praying that all the people that are starting this study have a good experience. But I just wanted to add, I'm always worried because I'm giving people a sleep study for them to try. And then I'm like, but what if they nap all afternoon, and then they watch screens right up until they go to bed, and all these things that you really shouldn't do to have a good night's sleep. So just remember, when you're trying some of these things, maybe this new sleep system, to do all of the things that will help you have a good night's sleep. This will enhance that. So that was my oil story. Yes, Laura.
What do the gel capsules do that's different from the other?
So these ones, they've added to them tart cherry melatonin. So it's a natural melatonin that won't have any interaction or problem making your own melatonin in your body, like some of the melatonins you can buy over the counter supposedly inhibit the melatonin that your body makes naturally. So it's nice to have that added bonus in there of help there.
Nice.
We got lots of people on today. I love it. Anybody else have an oil story they'd like to share? Something that's worked for them?
I do.
Go for it.
My granddaughter has a really hard time on her when she's on her period. So I made up a Clary-Calm for her, and she put it on, and I mean, she has a variety of problems, but almost instantly her cramps were gone.
Oh, I love that, Mondale.
And I know it made a difference on her emotional, because that's the worst part, is she just crashes emotionally.
Oh.
And I know that made a difference too, but she didn't notice that part.
But you did.
But I did.
Oh my goodness. So I remember those days, because I was one of those girls, and I would writhe around in my bed. There was nothing back then. They didn't even tell us to take Tylenol or anything back then. I just literally would lay in bed for a day or two every month, just writhing in pain. So what a blessing that you are to her. Oh my goodness, that is awesome. Anyone else have something they'd like to share that's working for them naturally?
Shaleen?
Yeah.
Can you tell me what's in that, what she put on her granddaughter?
So Clary-Calm is a blend. Clary Sage is a big part. Clary Sage, the oil, the essential oil, is a big part of Clary-Calm. And Clary-Calm is already in a roll-on, and it comes ready to go with a few other oils in the blend that you can roll right on the abdomen when you're having cramps. Thank you. I always just assume everybody knows things, and I should go back to basics. So the Clary-Calm comes in a roll-on, ready to go, and you literally roll it right on the abdomen when you're having cramps. But it also helps with other things. It helps with the mood. It helps balance the hormones. That time of the month is often quite difficult for even some of us that are older. And so it's really nice to help balance things out. That's what those oils do. All right, fantastic. Excited to have Jolene teach us today, because she is the master in talking about emotions. We're going to talk a little bit about stress, sleep, and emotions. And Jolene, turn time over to you.
It's fun to see everyone. I come to really look forward to these days of meeting together. There's a lot of strength that comes with like-minded people, and that like-mindedness of wanting to learn and just absorb information and then apply it in our lives is really uplifting to, I think, all of us as a group as we join that strength and that interest together. So there's just strength in gathering and sharing this way. And so I learn every time something from you guys about what you've been experiencing, or a reminder of something. Oh yeah, I forgot about that one. And so it doesn't matter. Shaleen and I together and separate have taught these classes for a while, and there's always something new and different and a little bit of other slant. And then also because there's different people coming in and out, and it just brings new information and new insight to what we're doing. So thank you for all of your comments, and please don't hesitate when you have something to share. Something that you might say is just the thing that someone else here needs to hear, not necessarily from just what Shaleen and I present. So keep that in mind and feel free to share and help uplift others and encourage them in the things that you've learned as well.
And you can say it out loud, or you can put it in the chat, and I'll bring it up so that everybody can be aware. So thank you.
Yeah. And raise your hand and we'll make sure that you get in there. Okay, so I'm going to try back and forth sharing screens. We'll see how it works, okay?
Yep.
What do you guys see?
We got it.
Do you still see it?
Yep, we got it. We have your
Okay.
opening slide.
All right, so we're going to go here. So I'm assuming you probably have a paper and pencil, hopefully to write down some notes, but this is the first thing that I want you to put on there is on a scale of 1 to 10, how often are you aware of being stressed in your daily life? How concerned are you about the quantity and quality of your sleep? And how frequently do your emotions feel difficult to manage appropriately? So what I'd like you to do is the one that is your biggest problem in those, I want you to put that in the chat. Because if there's one that sticks out for everyone, we're going to spend a little bit more time on that. And if there's not, then I'll do equal on all of them. Stress is a big one. Daily life, sleep.
Sleep, 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 stress, stress, stress. Boy, we need this class.
Okay. So this slide probably goes without like even having to share much on this one, but what I want you to do is to be aware of the things that you're coming here most to hear about. And stress is probably one of our #1 things. And then the sleep shows up. And they put emotions in here because emotion plays a part in all of the others. Emotional health is not just about if you're feeling happy or sad. It plays into our sleep and into the stress that we feel. And that's why these all were put here together. But just a little bit scientific-y, the hypothalamus is in the center of your brain up here, and it kind of controls what happens with the stress in your life. And it's put there designed to support our bodies, because when it's feeling stressed, it sends out this hormone to try to get it to calm down. And sometimes it needs help with that. And that's where a lifestyle of having to manage our stress, to manage the sleep that we have, to all of these different parts, is what helps our bodies bring down that stress, and our hypothalamus. I always have gotten that word mixed up. There's a couple of others like that. So it's really important, and that's the part of the brain that we're working on to help reduce our stress and part of things. So the first one, sorry, I got distracted right there. Shalene was talked a lot about this, and so if there's any other questions, we want to address this about that too, is about our sleep routine. One of the things that we need to really emphasize is it's not just about taking the Serenity or putting the stick on or diffusing the oil. It's about a lifestyle, because if you aren't going to bed until 12 or 1 o'clock and getting up at 6, 7, or 8, you're not giving your body the rest that it needs. And so going to bed at a regular time every night, trying to at least a half hour, an hour is better, that you turn off all the electronics and maybe not even the TV. I guess soft music could help, but even just try having quiet time and reading, if that doesn't keep you up too much. But find a routine at night that helps you get into that restful state so that you can fall asleep and have that good night rest and get the appropriate amount of rest. I love it when I'm able to, when I'm really, really good at doing this, which isn't all the time. And once you get good, it doesn't mean that you won't fall back out and then remind you to go back in. And that's just life. But I know that when I make that conscious effort to make sleep a priority in the routine, instead of the last child causing anxiety, before going to bed, or there's things that you can't get away from. But when I can go to sleep and my eyes pop up in the morning well before my alarm clock, and that kind of rest that you just get up in the morning and you go, oh, and it just feels so good. How long has it been since you've woken up in the morning with that kind of a refreshed morning? Unfortunately, that most of us, not too much. So with sleep, the sleep system, already been explained super, super well, is a really good go-to. There's different times in our life that we'll need different things as things are going on. And so I want you to be aware of some other things out there, because one size doesn't fit everybody all the time. Did you know that copaiba soft gels are good for sleep? Stick that one in your head. I was really, I've been pleasantly surprised, and I've used copaiba a lot in the past as well in different things for sleep. And I loved how that works. I was amazed by it. Then the adaptive, sometimes my brain just won't shut off. And so sometimes, even as I'm starting into my routine and I just can't unwind from the day, sometimes I'll just take one of the adaptives to help just to close my mind down. And then the yarrow palm, that's kind of a hidden secret that we don't talk a lot about, but it is it's a good health, our cellular health in every way. And so I use it a lot for skin. That's my main reason for going to it. But it's a huge, 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 huge supporter of the brain as well. And so if you need to experiment with something, you might even give that one a try.
Yeah.
So my go ahead, Shaleen.
I was just going to say vetiver on the big toe. When I was doing the sleep system the other day, I was pulling out all the stops because I hadn't been sleeping for quite a while. And vetiver, just a drop because it comes out really slow. It's one of the thickest oils we have. Just a drop on the bottom of each of your big toes. The big toes are connected to the head, and the vetiver for me and many people, that works. So that's another great tip to try to just slow your head down as you go to sleep.
Yeah. The vetiver and the balance and the serenity are what I use in my diffuser.
There you go.
And sometimes I put a drop of each one of them and rub it all on my bottom of my feet, with the vetiver specifically on the big toe. That's been a long-standing one for me, is the vetiver. I still even use it with the sleep system, but mainly in my diffuser now. So if you don't know the power of a diffuser at night, give it a try. With this 3-steps sleep system it has a serenity oil there, because if you notice, you're getting the oils internally, you're getting it topically with the stick to rub on, and you need it aromatically. And so you're getting those in the 3 most powerful ways all into your system. And so remember to diffuse and choose the ones that you like. If you just like serenity, do that. But if you want to try a really fun additive, put vetiver on your next order if you don't have it. Because that's a prize one right there.
And if I could just add, a lot of what I feel we're sharing today is taking care of yourself. And if you take care of yourself, everything else is going to go better. And I found that I'm having to do that lately because I've had more stress in my life than normal. Those of you who know me know I have a lot of stress usually, but it's been abnormal lately. And I have found, I'm like, my goodness, my morning routine and my evening routine take me longer than they used to. And it's almost a headache because I'm someone that likes to get things done. But I want to take care of myself because I know if I do, I will function better. And so take time to fill that diffuser. Get it ready ahead of bedtime so it's ready to turn on. Get the oils set up in your bedroom so they're where you need them to be, so you're ready to put them on. Make sure you've done the little steps ahead of time that will make it easier for you to take care of yourself.
That's really, really important, because at night we're so tired and then we forget about it. So when I forget to have my diffuser ready before I'm going to bed, it usually doesn't get done because I'm so tired. I go, oh, I don't need that. And then it plays into the rest of the night. So to be prepared, in general with your oils, have your oils where you use them and have them out and about. It would be a fun thing. I don't know, Shaleen, maybe on Facebook, everyone post the places that you keep your oils.
Yeah.
One of these times we should have, okay, go take a picture right now of, where you have whatever, and see. Mine get moved around all the time, but I have different holders everywhere to have the specific oils for that room that needs to be there. So preparing ahead of time makes all the difference in the world. So this is just one for a screenshot. If you'd like to make up your own roller bottles, this is a really good one to put together. And you can see each one of those oils, that they naturally lend themselves to rest and relaxation and stress relief. So.
And that will be a lot of drops. If it were me making it, I would put more like 5 to 7 drops each in a roller bottle. 20 drops times 4. Whew, that's a lot of oil, but it's up to you what works for you.
Yeah. Definitely it'll be individualized as you learn how your body works with each of it. Okay, so a little bit going into the emotions part of it is that with our sleep, with everything in our daily lives, stress makes a huge difference with what we're facing, and the emotions that play into it. derail us faster than anything else in our day that comes up. And so this is just kind of a slide that's showing oils that you can use. This is just like a snapshot of where you can go for information. But if you're feeling fatigued or have no passion or stressed or feeling no peace, then it's, you go to that quadrant. If it's, okay, I'm feeling fatigued. Are you feeling fatigued because there's no stress, no passion? I mean, this is really, really simplified in this slide, but it's to show you that there's oils and kind of family of oils that help with that area. And so some of your top ones, they put elevation here. You can't get elevation anymore. We need to replace that with something there. But in that one, there's more bland type of ones. But like for fatigue, the citrus bliss, that's one of the most like calming blends of the oils that we have. It's really awesome. The grounding, the balance, that's anything when I feel like I need to get more grounded. Balance is one that I go to. And it helps when you're more balanced. You can see how that helps with stress and peace altogether. So there's a long list of things for each one.
I like to use cheer
areas.
Instead of elevation.
Cheer, that's a
Cheer
good one.
Definitely. And I prefer it over elevation. I'm tickled pink there.
And I love elevation.
We're so different.
Yeah. So some of the others to consider for for calming is lavender, peace, anchor. That's in the yoga blends, and the console, in tune, and ylang ylang. Those are all ones that are really good for the calming area. For uplifting, there's motivate and cheer.
Can you say them slower so we can write?
I can. Sorry.
Thanks.
How about if I type them? I'll type them up as you say them real quick in the chat.
Okay. Okay, so for calming, there's lavender, peace, anchor, console, in tune, and ylang ylang. Now that's a short list, but those are really good top ones to consider. For uplifting, there's motivate, cheer, lime, spearmint, peppermint, and geranium. Do you want me to repeat any of those?
Nope, got it.
Okay. All right, so in this part too, I'm not sure if I've shown you this book before, but when you're talking about emotions, this is a really, really good one. To help for why the oils would help with that. And so it lists, it has a whole page for each oil that we have, and it talks about its emotional properties of it and why you might want to use that oil for different things. It has suggested uses, and it has just kind of, if it's a positive feeling or a negative feeling that you're feeling. So anyway, just kind of in short, there's a lot of really good things to help with, to help manage our emotions and our stress. So diffusing is one of the #1 ways that you can use these oils to help in stressful times. And so the people we got this presentation from, have given us a couple of different blends that you might want to use to put into your diffuser. So anything with wild orange is like a happy place for me.
Mm-hmm.
I like wild orange and peppermint, even with emotions, because it helps brighten me up while keeping me grounded. And so if you use any of these, let me know how you feel, how you like them. So the other day, this is my oil story for the week, is that I have a daughter here living with us that is going through a rough time. And she came to me and wanted me to identify an emotion. She couldn't even figure it out. And we came down to it, and she picked out an oil that I wouldn't have thought of right off. I think it was petitgreen. And it smelled good to both of us, but she started diffusing it as she was working down here. And she came back and she says, it made all the, you could see it in her countenance. At the beginning of the day, she was just wasted, and just like, you could see the stress in her face. By noon, when I saw her again, and then that evening, she says it changed my whole day. And that was an oil that she needed for a couple of days with that. And then she naturally herself, knowing about some of the different oils, there's a new one from the convention called Shinrin Yoku. I'm not sure I say that right, but it's close.
Yoku.
Yoku. It's forest bathing. And so it's like taking a walk through the forest while you're sitting at your office. And they did a lot of testing to show how it calms the body, just like if you were walking through the forest. And so she took that to work with her. She works with her sister just down the street. And I diffused it in the room for both of them. And I think it's been there now for several days. And so there's just things that you can actively do if you allow yourself to go there. And like what you're doing now is giving thought beforehand to know what to do and have it ready when the time comes that you need that.
I'm going to step in again real quick. The Shinrin Yoku I have been using nightly since using the sleep study that I did a while ago. My first bottle's almost gone. I think it's my new favorite oil. This forest bathing feeling that you are breathing in the forest, they've done studies, and this oil helps lower blood pressure, helps lower the cortisol. And it actually, there's killer cells in our body that help kill the bad things that need to go away. It increased the killer cells in the bodies of those recipients that were in the study by 57%. It increased the killer cells by 57%. I think that's what greenery does for us, what the oxygen, what forest bathing does for us. So push first, Shinrin Yoku.
Yeah. When they first announced it at the convention, we went, oh, they're just throwing something in there. All of us together were thinking, yeah, what's this about? By the end of convention, as we learned about it and visited and saw the research behind it, we went, oh, wow, this was like the golden thing. So many things were golden, but this one was like truly that hidden gem that I'd encourage every single one of you. You would not regret putting it on your next order or getting a sample of it. Go smell it at Shalene's, or none of you live here close by me. But I will be in Houston. If any of you guys are in Houston, I'll be there Saturday, and I'll have it ready for people to smell. But powerhouse one. Okay, so this is just like
it's a class on
okay. So this is just kind of like one of those like letting you see that there's more out there. Every once in a while we talk about Symphony of the Cells, and it's, if you don't know much about it, put it in the comments and maybe we can have a master class on it. But there are all these oils on here. If you can imagine having all of those oils put on your back to help with emotions, with sleep, with stress, it helps address all of that stuff. And it's such an easy way to apply to loved ones in your house. You don't have to have a technique with it at all. But just to know that there's, just whetting your appetite, that there's other things out there. And then we always have to remember to go to the foundation of the things in our life that we do every day that makes the difference. Lifelong vitality. So when we're talking about these areas, nutrition, our gut health, our sleep health, and our metabolic health are 4 places that if we focus on those, we hit pretty much everything on our health pyramid that we're wanting to empower in our life. So lifelong vitality, And then our gut health. Our gut health makes a difference in every single area that we just talked about. It helps in how our nutrition gets into our body and is taken care of. It helps with our sleep. It helps with our energy. We have for so long, and we have all felt the effects of not having good gut health. And as we've learned more about it, and our doctors at doTERRA, as they've like put so much research and stuff into our the gut health, the probiotic part of this makes such a huge difference in every part of your health, because our body is fighting so much to keep that balance, that when we help it have that balance, it like repays us back 1,000-fold.
Mm-hmm.
So let's get these into your home. If you
love it. I stopped using the Restore because I ran out, and it's interesting. I've noticed the difference in my body. I will be replenishing and getting right back on that. It just gives us so much support. Oh, great class. Thank you, Jolene. Anything else? Need to close it out?
That's it.
Okay. We have this is number 6 class. So let's use our word for the day being, what would you say? Stress. Maybe stress is our word for the day for number 6. And then next week, we'll have a class on women's health and hormones. And I'm going to be doing some studying up so I can give you some good information next week. You heard Jolene mention a master class. When we're done with these 8 classes, we're going to repeat these same 8 classes. You still learn something, so feel free to join us when we repeat them in the beginning of the new year. But we will be doing a master class monthly, and that we'll let you know when those are. We'll keep you informed when those are coming up. But that's going to be like, we'll cover the Symphony of the Cells. We'll cover some of the more details. They might even be an hour long, if you can imagine, because we will probably cover a little bit more detail. And that'll be master classes for people really interested in more natural ways to change their lives. We hope that's all of you. And super excited to have you on with us. It means so much that you're on this journey with us. I love Jolene's words, strength in this group of ladies that all wants to better their lives. So thank you for joining us. Any other questions or comments?
Thank you so much.
Love you all. Thanks for being here.
Have a great afternoon.
Thank you, Shaleen.
You bet.